What is going on, everybody? How are we doing on this fine Thursday evening? My name is Eric, and welcome to Q2C VR Gamer Live. We are a weekly VR talk show that airs live every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, where we go live to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Kick, Instagram. I don't know, maybe Instagram. Todd has me going everywhere. I don't even. Why are we in Kick? I had to fire Todd tonight because he keeps me in Kick. I don't want to be in Kick. There's nobody there. It's me in Kick by myself. Maybe. I don't know. There's nobody in Kick. There's just too many platforms. But if you cannot catch us live, you can always catch us afterwards on your favorite podcast platform. As you can see, I am solo tonight. That is because Todd messaged me after the state of play by Sony and said, screw this, man. I'm out of here. I'm quitting VR forever. Sony has bailed on everybody. So he quit. I can't believe it. Todd quit. He just up and quit on us.
Finally, dude.
Finally, dude's like, I'm in. Dude's like, I'm stepping up. I got promoted. Todd
my
quit.
Opportunity, dude.
So Todd quits. You get promoted. You get to rise and come into the big seat. Welcome.
Yay! What's up?
Do you think Todd who was a hater of PlayStation as it is? Do you think he was like reveling in today's state of play?
He probably didn't give two Canadian shits over it, dude.
I haven't heard from him like all day long. I don't think he said anything. Do you think he even watched it?
No.
No.
It's all this PlayStation does is collect dust, dude. He don't use that thing.
No, he definitely does not use that thing. He doesn't put it on his head, but he isn't here tonight, D. He's not here, not because he quit. He didn't quit. I fired him. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't fire him. He's coming back next week. He had to do something with his daughter tonight. His daughter had a recital, and he had a solo or something like that in the recital.
Like that, yeah.
So he's like, "Hey, Eric, just to let you know, I'm gonna come into the show and gonna bail on my daughter's recital." I'm like, "Dude, you cannot bail on your daughter." He's like, "I don't care. She's not that important to me." I'm like, "Dude, it's your daughter."
Come on,
I had to talk him into going, D. No, I'm
come on.
Of course, he had to be the awesome dad that he is, and go and take care of Riley doing her solo. Maybe he'll record it for us on his Meta glasses. That would be cool.
Maybe
he should have brought. He should have brought his Apple Vision Pro and done a spatial video from there, and then he could relive that moment forever in 3D.
You know what? If he didn't do that, then he truly is fired.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, he could be fired anyway. I'm not sure yet. We'll see.
Okay.
Well, we have an awesome show for you guys. It's going to be me and D, but we have some guests that we're going to talk to here in a minute. That's going to be very cool. This is something I did this week. I've done a lot of stuff in my Apple Vision Pro this week, D. There was a lot of new things that dropped into the Apple Vision Pro store that are not your typical everyday apps that you see in there. They weren't apps that they're just pulled over or forced over from, iPad. These are built from the ground up for Apple Vision Pro apps that we're going to talk about tonight. And we have some of the developers of some of those apps with us tonight that we're going to talk to. But D, before we do anything, let's say hello to our awesome chat, because there's some kick-ass people here. Chatty is here. There was some people here way early on, too, that unfortunately YouTube has gotten rid of their messages. But I think as soon as the show page went live, somebody said that they were first, but they're not first anymore because it's gone. They erased it. Chatty is now first. Bluebell is here. Echo into the future. Skiva is here. What is going on, dude? How are you doing? He said, where's the VR party? Wherever we are, the VR party is. Salvador is here. Ryan B. Mepper saying hello to everybody like he absolutely always does. We have getting things done. Jay Dunn is here. What is up, man? How are you doing? Ryan B. Techno Glitch RG is here. Chi-Town D. Bluebell. Did I say Bluebell already? But anyway, I'll say it again because she's awesome. Bluebell. Haruko is here. Let's see. Philozix is here. Salvador, I think I might have said it already. VR Spry Guy is here. D.
Happy birthday, Spry.
You want to sing him happy birthday or no?
He didn't say happy birthday to me, dude.
No, that was how come he didn't? That's unfair.
Because he's a jerk.
Next week we'll sing him happy birthday.
You're lovely, Spry. Come on, you know it.
How dare you get on the Spry Guy? Who else do we got here? We have Hair Force One is here. Let's see. Q Creator is here. Techno Glitch. Looper the Underground Game Cat. What's up, Looper? How are you doing, man? Tasselhoff is here. What's going on? He says, been so long on the wheel, D. Is the wheel dead?
I think it's so 2023, dude.
I don't know. Maybe we'll bring it back. I don't know. D hates it, so maybe I'll bring it. Maybe I'll make it. We'll bring it back.
This thing.
We'll bring it back soon. We'll come back. Maybe next week. It could be a wheel week next week. Actually, it won't be a wheel week. I'll be away next week. I'll be in Sweden. So no show next week, guys. No show. But we're gonna make up for it with a kick-ass show tonight. Fourth Wall Breaker is here. Brandon VR. Echo into the Future VR is here. This is what's going on. Beastie Boys like kick it, like kick it. I don't know. Kick
Dude, the song.
I know.
The way it starts.
I'm a big Beastie Boys fan. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, whatever. You didn't even know that.
What? No Sleep Till Brooklyn, D. It's the Beastie Boys.
Yeah,
Come on.
whatever.
Let's see. Who else do we have here? D. Saying hello to the VR family is Orlin Hooper. Orlin Hooper's jacked, yo. Damn right, Orlin Hooper's jacked. What's up, Orlin? How you doing, man? Let's see. What do we have? Arlen, the arc reactor, is here. Mickey Barrios. Mickey Bear. What's up, dude? How are you doing? Oh my God, so many people here. The Handy Capable Gamer. How are you? Longshot is here. Thomas McNostril. Oh my God, there's lots of people chatting. I like it. It's good to see everybody. I think that's it. If I missed you, I do apologize. It's Todd's fault completely. If I missed you, we'll blame him next week. Promise.
2 weeks.
Actually, not next week. I'll be in Sweden next week, D. D, I'm headed to Sweden next week. I'm going to go hang out with one of my favorites. I'm going to go hang out with Scott, the CEO of Combat Waffle Studios, and Proper D, tutorial guy from Ghost of Tabor. They're bringing me out. They want to come. They were like, come hang out with us in Sweden. And I'm like, how the hell do you turn down hanging out with Scott and Proper D in Sweden?
I sure as hell wouldn't.
You can't do it. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm going.
I'd be like, fuck this job. I'm out.
What, this job? No, you can't.
No, not this job. My real
the other
job.
But
Not
yeah,
this job that, you know.
It's super cool. There's an event in London that's going on for Ghost of Tabor, and they're like, hey, we're gonna go just hang out and like blow off some steam in Sweden. You know, do you want to come hang out with us? And I'm like, hell yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna go to Sweden for like 3 or 4 days. But guess who some of my favorite people are in Sweden? And they were like, if you're coming to Sweden, you better come and see us. That'd be Resolution Games. They're like, you're not coming all the way to Sweden without coming here. So I got to go spend a day at Resolution Games. I have like 4 game studios that I have to go see out there. I really think that Sweden could be the gaming studio of like the world. Like every big company is in Sweden.
Holy crap, Mash. Just something caught my eye. And if you look at the chat, there's a green K. I think, does that mean somebody's on Kick actually? What?
There is.
Oh my God.
It is a green K. Where's the green K? I don't see it. Where is it?
In our the restream chat.
Oh yeah, in the restream
See
chat.
that?
Who's in Kick?
I don't know, but thank you.
Wow, one person's over in Kick. I feel so special. Oh my God, there it is. It's there it is. Restream bot says Spriggles McFitch is over, and that's a great name. How great of a name is that? Spriggles. Look, if I couldn't be Eric Masher, I would want to be Spriggles McFitch. Right? Who doesn't want to be that? That's awesome. Thank you for being over there in Kick. We appreciate you. I hope you're not too lonely. Somebody go join him in quick, so it's not Kick, so it's not just one person over there. But D,
he might be enjoying the solitude there. You know.
I know, right? That's very possible. That's very possible.
Sorry, I saw that and I'm like, holy shit.
Guys, we have a great show for you. I promise we're going to get to PlayStation stuff. I have thoughts. I have some thoughts on PlayStation.
Yeah, you do.
Gamertag was started to laugh. He saw me like I was lurking in Gamertag's chat today as he was going through he live streamed it, and I was kind of lurking there because I figured I got to watch it somewhere. I might as well support my buddy GT. So I watched his stream, and he's like giggling. I could see he's giggling. He sees it, and he's like, yeah, he just knows. I have thoughts. I'm not even gonna say. It might not even be a rant. It might be just thoughts.
Bullshit.
But look,
put $500 on that shit right now. You're gonna rant later.
We'll see. No,
it's gonna happen.
All right, but before we get into that, we have lots of stuff. I mean, there's some good PlayStation news too. We're gonna get into lots of PlayStation stuff tonight. We're gonna get into some other cool stuff. We're gonna get into some Apple Vision Pro stuff. But why don't we do this right now? Let's bring in. We got a couple awesome guests here that have never been on the show before. And I had a chance to play their game this week, or actually the last couple of weeks, and it's pretty damn awesome. Let me welcome in from Beyond Studios, from the great Apple Vision Pro game Runaways. We have Anton Mitchell, co-founder and technical director, and Jessica Mannins, co-founder and producer. Would producer be a good title? Is that like a catch-all of like, look, I do everything?
I do everything. Yeah, that's a good catch-all, I think, for it. Hey,
It's like when you say producer, you're like, okay, I wear 15 different hats. Like I have to do everything, clean the bathroom and everything.
Yeah, I do actually do that. Buy the toilet paper.
Guys, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on. And look, I just wanted to let everybody know, because everybody's going to chat right now is going to go, oh my God, that's a fake background. That's not a fake background.
It's a real background. We're at the Braemar Lodge in the South Island. We've taken a few days off after launching to do a bit of a trip around New Zealand. So we're in the South Island.
Good for you guys. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah. It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, you guys are calling in from New Zealand, which is super cool. What time is it? What time is it for you guys? And well, it's not even the same day. It's actually Friday.
1:30 p.m. in the future.
Yeah,
the future.
Friday.
Nice. Tell me what the lottery numbers are, please, so I can go.
Yeah,
the
lottery. 7, 9, 4.
Awesome. Hey, we have a $10 super chat from Longshot that says thank you for $10 super chat. Thank you for the $10 super chat. We appreciate it. Thank you very much, Longshot. Guys, thanks for coming in and talking to me tonight. This is super cool. I am a huge supporter of the Apple Vision Pro, and we're going to get into Runaways on the Apple Vision Pro, but I want to talk about Beyond a little bit first, because you don't just do that. You guys have have a history with this studio. So introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about yourselves individually, and tell us about Beyond and what you guys do.
Yeah, well, thank you for having us here. And yes, I mean, my background is originally in film and in theatre. So a lot of kind of entertainment is kind of where I come from. And then I fell in love with virtual reality about 8-9 years ago. And so from then onwards, I was creating content in many different ways. And that's how I met Anton. I actually set up a research and development centre in Wellington in New Zealand for VR and AR creators to come together so that we could learn about the technology, we could create and try and find opportunities for New Zealand to be a bit of a hub for VR and AR, and been making content ever since then, a range of content. So yeah, that was me.
Yeah, and I come from a software web apps background, and like Jessica said, I started making virtual reality and augmented reality back in the Google Tango days. I don't know if any of the viewers here were aware of a Tango, but it was a prototype device, so it was really hard to get. And we actually made a tabletop AR game nearly 8 years ago. And then, of course, the hardware got canned and they put it all into Google Glass. So that was sort of the first foray into mixed reality or augmented reality multiplayer tabletop games. And we've been building content ever since.
Yeah.
Wow. After those two big failures, you still decided to keep going.
Oh, there's many more.
You want to talk about failures? We could do like a whole show on failures. As an indie studio, man, it's a ride. Up and down with technology, with software. But yeah, we've had some lovely successes as well. And our first success was Oddball, which was a free roam VR game for arcades.
Very cool.
That was made on the Quest before the Quest came out. That was
sort of the success, and we also launched it in January of 2020 in the US, and I think everybody knows something went down in about 2020 that stopped people going out. So it wasn't great for location-based VR. But yeah, we're still here and we're still creating.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, I think, number one, Jessica, you're a badass for setting up that like you said, a center for people to come and learn about virtual reality. I think that's freaking amazing. Just hearing about that, it would probably be a whole episode in its own, because I mean, you doing something like that in an area where there probably wasn't a lot of knowledge, but trying to bring people into to broaden it is amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, just getting our hands on, a HoloLens, for example, so that people could have the opportunity, because accessibility is such a big part of this, right? You've got to have the hardware to be able to then explore and try things out. So that was kind of one of the main purposes. So yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was hard, but it was good.
Yeah, and then and again, for you guys pushing on, I mean, like, how many failed platforms have there been out there? You mentioned 2 right there. I was like, it's like, what do you do? Like when you have like Google Glass, like completely goes belly up, and like, what you were talking about with Tango didn't last more than about a hot second. And like, early on, you had to be passionate, because early on there wasn't like there was a lot of support or money there. So you were like, we just love it.
And a couple of our team, they even come from, the Magic Leap side. So they were building stuff for Magic Leap, and one of the titles, our game director was senior producer for Magic Leap, and they worked on a game for 7 years, and then obviously, and so it's tough when you're sort of on the cutting edge of hardware. It's fun, but it can be tough out there.
Yeah, it's so cool. And now, with Beyond for you guys, it's a game studio, but to tell us a little bit about some of the other projects that you've done with Beyond, other than Runaways, which we'll get into in a few minutes.
Yeah, so I mean, we've done a range of things. Like we've brought, our original founding documents of Aotearoa New Zealand into VR. So we use photogrammetry to capture all of those documents and create an experience so that we could share those documents with the world. We've created virtual reality therapy experiences actually on original Picos,
Wow.
and we've also built 3D worlds for these characters that mates of ours from Fluff World created, the Burrows. So we worked with Snoop Dogg and we built these 4 beautiful 3D environments and made that into a multiplayer mobile application as well. So we've dabbled in a bit of mobile. We've got a few games that, of course, you start and then you try and get a bit of funding for or publishing for that have sat back in the in the archives.
Slice archive.
Yeah, like we've got a beautiful PC game called Life Stars, which is a life simulation adventure survival game.
Ooh.
It hasn't quite been finished, but it's a beautiful one made in Unreal Engine. And just kind of a range of things really. And then I guess it was like the end of last year, we'd been working on Combinauts, which was a multiplayer game for the Quest for Meta, and we had some IP there, and that's what kind of, when we knew Apple was coming out, we thought actually we should bring some of our ideas and stories and into this new hardware, because we love trying new stuff.
I know, right? You got to be on the cutting edge of every new platform, right?
Yeah.
And we've been waiting for the Vision. I mean, it wasn't called the Vision; it was just the Apple headset for probably close to 7 or 8 years. I had a friend that was working on Vision 7 years ago, and so
wow.
back then he was like, "It's coming soon, man. Just like
just hold on.
Just hold on."
Well, soon in Apple is about 7 years.
I know. And then people got sick of us saying, "Just wait for Apple to release something." We were like, everyone's like, "Jess and Anton, just shut up. You guys are so boring with your VR and AR and spatial computing chat."
Yeah, and now now Apple has kind of caught the world on fire, whether the people hate it or love it. I mean, it's out there, and people are talking about it, and Apple's so smart in the way they do things. And you're right. Like we heard whispers of this so long ago, and it was just like, okay, when is it coming? Like, and even for some of us, like in the industry, we kind of knew it was coming, but then like you just didn't know for sure when, and you didn't want to come out and say, hey, I know it's coming, but I can't say when. Or so for you guys, for development cycle, when did you decide, hey, I do want to make something, we do want to make something for the Apple Vision Pro, support this, this initiative and the headset. So when did you decide to do that? And then tell us a little bit about Runaways.
Yeah, well, I think we decided. I mean, we were always going to build something for Apple. It was Apple headset, but Apple Vision Pro once it came out, and it was about sort of end of last year, sort of September, October. That obviously the rumors were very solidified then, and there was starting to be launch dates. And we were just obviously finishing up a bit of a project, and we were like, you know what, let's just jump in and get something out. It's a short development cycle. We spent about 6 months in total, and including a couple of months of pre-production on it. And we were just really, really excited to get something out, be one of the first spatial apps on the Vision.
Yeah. We didn't obviously have a headset, and we weren't privileged enough to be people who were, who had dev kits or who had access to even the spaces that you could go in and try the headset early on and whatnot in the labs. Yeah. In New Zealand, we didn't have any of that. And so we actually started prototyping on a Meta 3, and that's where we got like early feedback of players coming into our studio and testing out what we were doing. And, that was how we kind of developed, kind of the first kind of iteration of the design, the finding the fun, if you will, which is kind of what we live by, and which is such a big thing in our studio, making sure that we found that key mechanic that's fun. But of course, we were taking original IP and bringing it into a new platform. So there was a lot of hurdles, a lot to learn. We just switched from Unreal Engine to Unity.
Yeah.
So that was, a learning curve for our little studio.
And one of the hardest things, obviously, when you're prototyping not on the hardware, is once we did get the hardware, which we had to fly one of our staff members' girlfriends to LA to pick it up on a weekend and fly her back.
When it released.
Was that when we got the hardware, we figured out that all of our prototyping basically didn't work.
Oh, no way. Really? So you had to start from scratch?
Well,
No
just
way.
from a design perspective,
yeah.
it's just such different hardware, and it's used in such a different way. You know, that the user experience is just so different, and that's such an important thing. So really had to like look at the design and try and figure out, well, what is the constraints? Yeah. What is the best way to build something? And so taking it, which is kind of how we ended up moving what we originally had with our design, which we won't give away too much because you never know, we might bring some of that out in the future, but into this endless runner, which was going to be a lot more accessible for people to be playing on the Vision Pro headset. And but yeah, and even just like for our poor developers building in the simulator without a headset, you know, you think everything's going really well and looks and working really well, and then
it doesn't. And it was, you know, the first version of firmware and on anything is going to be tough, right? And so it's, you know, you're on version 1, and version 1, you know, compared to the simulator was very, you might as well have been drawing pictures and just taking photos of them. So it was, but it was, you know, it was really good. And once we got the hardware, of course, it was really, you have to double down on, you know, even this, one of the bigger things is how you control characters. You got no controllers. So obviously there's controller support, but we wanted to build it native first. And so you've really got a couple of options, you know, and we played around with a lot of different things with buttons in your play space and all this kind of stuff, which really don't work. You know, and you know, so
it's cool. I love the way you did it. Like, we'll get into the game in a second. I do want to say, hardware wise, it's so hard to develop, period. When you don't have the hardware to develop on, it's like insane. Like, it's interesting that you guys actually built it in the Quest 3 to like kind of like test things out. So the fact that you didn't have the hardware, and I know exactly where you're coming from because I actually smuggled a Vision Pro to the people that we were talking about earlier at GDC. So the people there's another studio that's down near you, who was a client of ours, and they were like, "Hey, can you get me an Apple Vision Pro?" like it's a drug deal because you can't get them, right? I mean, the US is the only place you're getting them, and you know, if anybody wants to develop for it, how do you get it? What do you do? Do you travel to the US and go pick it up?
Well, we were going to. So we actually went through. We're lucky we have a very good friend of ours, Brent Bushnell, who's 2-Bit Circus in LA. So I rang up Brent and I was like, Brent, I need a Vision. Can I ship one to you? And he's like, yep. And he sent me all these platforms. And so I had these runners out on TaskRabbit going to pick some Visions up. And then I had, you know, people flying from New Zealand and they had to, you know, meet at this specific place, you know, and then open the jacket and get the Vision Pro. And
exactly. It feels like a drug deal. Just to get an Apple Vision Pro.
Check the quality of it, have a bit of a look and a taste, and it was so it was a bit of a process. But I think that's all going to change in the next month. It looks like there might be some more countries supported.
Yeah, finally, thank God, and I'm looking forward to more people being able to get the headset because it really is amazing. And you know, let's talk a little bit about Runaways now because again, you know, the fact that you decided to support a new headset, number one, you know. Hats off to you guys. And, you know, it's not easy to do. And it's not a headset that's, you know, a gaming headset in any way. But what you made is a game. And it's a great game. So, you know, the fact that you said we are going to build something for the ground up for the Apple Vision Pro and it's going to be a game is amazing. I think it's super. You know, you guys definitely should be applauded for doing this. And tell us a little bit. So, you know, there's and number one, if anybody out there is like, hey, what's Runaways? I don't know what it is. Go check out the channel here and check out the video on that I did on Runaways because I had an absolute blast playing it. And I had a chance to play it. You know, we'll talk about it in a minute with my daughter. But guys, tell everybody here what is Runaways and you know, explain a little bit about it.
Yeah, so Runaways is an infinite runner. So it is based on the story of our first character, Hank. He is this cute little alien guy. He has been trapped in this other world for a long time by the Overlord who's been making him mine for gloop. And who wants to mine for Gloop forever, right? And so he's created a little gang. He's created a cool little patch jacket. You might enjoy that when you have a look at the character. And he has managed to distract the Overlord and escape into our world. But he's on the run, and the Overlord is after him. And so your job is to help him get away, and obviously get a high score by jumping over all the gaps in the little tracks that come out and disarming traps. And so there's a whole lot of characters that are in the works. There's a whole lot of stories, and everything is kind of based on a comic. So we're big fans of comics, and so you'll find that there's more comics coming, and that there's current comics that in the game that tell you the story of each of our characters, and then the level that you're playing, and what's going on in there. So it's nothing too complicated. It's a simple, casual game that we just wanted to showcase both, the fun that you can have, the beauty of the graphics, and just allow people to, have a bit of a chill, fun time and on the Apple Vision Pro.
So cool. I love it. So, you guys were nice enough to give me access to the game so I could create some content for it for the channel, because we're huge supporters of the Apple Vision Pro here. I'm a huge supporter of it. Todd is a huge supporter of it. As soon as Todd's from Canada, he came here to visit me, and he had to buy one because he couldn't get one. And as soon as he was here, he had to buy one and bring it back with him. But he's a huge fan of it too. So thank you guys for giving me access to it. And Jay Dunn in chat from Getting Things Done said something. Runaways is a runaway hit. I played it every day since launch. And
yeah, so nice.
It's one of those games. Like I'm in the same boat, because it's a challenging game, but it's one of those games where you're like, just give me one more run. I know I can do better this time than I did that last time, and that's a good hook of a great game. So anybody out there listening, it is an endless runner, but it's a mixed reality endless runner, which is different. Like, I don't know, it just feels completely different when you can do something like this in your own environment. And to the point of when the game kicks off and starts, Hank comes out, in his car flying out of the portal. What's cool about that is right before everything kind of gets started, you can actually get up and you can walk over to Hank, and you can look around him in 3D. You can walk around and look at every little thing. You're talking about the jacket and the patch and the car and the tentacles coming out of the portal, and every little bit of it you can go look at and see the detail that you put into it. Those are the things that you can't get in a flat game. Like, I can't stick my head into the screen to get closer to it. And here you can literally get up and look at every little tiny piece of detail that you guys have put in this game. And that's what makes this special. It's the gameplay hook, and then it's the mixed reality.
Yeah, and I really appreciate you saying that. It's one of those things for us. Once we got in and really started playing the more polished versions in the office. Once when you're going through development cycles, obviously stuff is not pretty to start with, and you're prototyping. But once we really started getting assets in there, it was for myself. I did a lot of testing on it, and I won't tell you my high score yet. But
we're going to talk about that.
I'm the same as you. I'll just keep playing, and it is tough, and we're still sort of balancing a little bit. We can make it easier, we can make it harder. It gets really fast.
It gets fast. I'm terrible at it, by the way. He is so much better than me. It really annoys me.
but one of the really unique things, and even we discovered, we were designing around this idea, but until you see it come to life, was playing a game like that from any perspective. So you can sit in front of it and play it from like an endless runner, front on perspective. But I actually find myself going off to the side, and I was like, well, this is a bit of a for us, was even a wow, like, oh, this is something cool. And it's like, shit, here this is where the future of like some of these spatial games can be, is that perspective is not forced by the developer. It's you look at it how you want to play it.
Yeah, it's so cool, and that's one of the things that you can't get with anything else but mixed reality. Like, you can move and you can get different perspectives, and you can watch it, straight on, or you can get it from an angle, or you can play it at Epcot. You can go to Disney World and play it in the middle of Epcot, which is what I had a chance to do. So me and my daughter and my wife happened to be at Epcot, and I'm like, I'm bringing this Apple Vision Pro with me to Epcot, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go play this amazing mixed reality game in front of thousands of people walking by. And it was one of the coolest experiences that I've had, because when you do something like that, number one, doing mixed reality in a spot where I'm in front of the huge Epcot ball and I can see everything that's going on in Epcot, but I'm actually playing this amazing endless runner game, just sitting on a small wall there and like just having people walk by. So just doing that in itself is super cool. It's just like, it's a surreal experience. But then the amount of people that walked up to me were like, "What are you doing? Like, this is so cool. What are you like? What are you looking at? What do you see? Is that an Apple Vision Pro? Like, what kind of headset is that? Is that VR?" It just sparks so many questions, and like, so all of a sudden, I found myself like having to get out of the game and just answer questions, and people were talking to me as they came by. So it was just a very cool experience, and those are the things that mixed reality is it's the only thing you can do. Like, you can't do that anywhere else. I mean, you're not bringing your computer. I mean, maybe a laptop, but nobody cares if you bring a laptop here. This is something like forefront. It's like it brings people out and like does different things. And is that what you see? Is that what like got you for the mixed reality part? Like, you could have done this in VR. You could have made it into VR, but you decided to do it all in mixed reality.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money. I think for us, it's we love those games that sort of VR can be a bit of a solo experience, right? We all know anyone who's played a lot of VR can be very solo. And I think the one thing that Vision really nailed with the pass-through being as high quality as it is, of course, it's still, there's still a bit of motion blur. There's still things that'll be worked out. But it feels to me as someone who sits in the studio testing for hours and hours and hours on end, that I'm not actually isolated from my room, because I can see everybody, I can talk to everybody, I can interact. And if people ask, right, you say, "What are you doing?" You can tell them, you can look them in the eyes. Whereas VR is it can be a very individual experience, which can also be really cool if you're trying to immerse yourself in something. But as sort of a more social experience where you can sit on the couch and look at people and talk, I think it's a really strong push forward.
Yeah, and the quality is just so amazing, right?
Okay.
So it's like, why wouldn't you want to do that? Because it is a wow moment.
Yep.
We've taken a lot of people through the game when we were doing a lot of those kind of demos, early iterations, testing things like, for example, when we had some buttons in the space and we were seeing how people were using them. Such an important thing to be doing. And just seeing people be like, "Whoa, I can see all of you and the character." Oh, this is amazing. And it just took me back to those early days when we were first putting people in VR headsets, and that wow factor, and that's why what we're in this for, right? We love bringing the wow. We love showing people what new technology can do, and then trying to create some really fun little experiences in there that demonstrate it. And we're just passionate about that. I love the augmentation of it.
And I think, I also really, really love like the slam and the spatial computing that's in the Vision, like the horsepower that you have coming from a technical side. We got some pretty big plans as to ways we can like change people's environments. We were really sort of pushing the limits of the first version of firmware with Runaways, where we had to do a lot of performance like cutbacks to get it to even run properly, because there's a lot going on that people may or may not see. But I think being able to change people's environment, but in their environment, is super rad. And we have some pretty cool ideas as to how we can bring that to life further as we go forward.
And like you say, play anywhere. Anton would be out in the streets when we were at South by Southwest, and he'd be having a play in an alleyway. It's like, and it's so fun. It's just so cool.
It is. It's just an amazing experience when you do it with like that. And the game itself, it's hard. It's a hard game. It's one of those games where you're like, just one more time. I can get past this one spot if I just do this time or do that. And you're trying to remember the track, and like you're trying like we've all played Endless Runners. It's a very much like kind of a mobile type thing. But there's a hook here. There's that gameplay, because you have the coolness of the mixed reality, but the game itself is fun and it's cool. And you again, no controllers, and you're talking about buttons and things like that. So you don't do buttons. It's all hand gestures here. And I think it's brilliant the way you disarm the traps, which is a different gesture than I'm used to doing. With the Apple Vision Pro, you're very used to the pinch and pull, but you have this little like button press on your hand, almost like doing this to disarm the traps. Yeah, that's what it feels like, a detonator. But it was a genius idea.
That's Anton. He came up with that. And it's funny, when we spoke to the Apple team when they were playing with it about, a little while ago, they were impressed. They were like, "Wow, we have never seen anyone use that gesture yet on our Vision." And we really liked it too. So
it just made sense though, right? We're sitting there, and I'd just sit there doing gestures when we were trying to figure out what would work. And for me, I'm a traditional PlayStation gamer, from PlayStation 1, right the way way through.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I like triggers and I like button presses, right? It's just natural. And so, yeah, we went through a bit of prototyping on that, and it worked, which was, big credit to the dev team who have to, like, wrangle my ideas into an actual line of code.
They got to do all the hard work, and you get to say, hey, let's do this crazy thing. Make that work, will you?
And you only have a few days to do it.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Can you have it done in a week? But I love that. So if everybody, doesn't understand, like I said, go check the video out. But basically, you're on a track on an endless runner, and you have traps that are coming towards you that you have to avoid. There's two ways you can avoid them. You can turn them off, which disarm them by basically doing this motion right here, this little button press. But you have to time it right. It's a timing issue. You just can't spam it. It's got to be timed exactly right with the opening and closing of the trap. I think that's the way it is. That's the way it seems to me, like the opening and closing, right? And then then you control the movement of the vehicle by accelerating using the gas from the vehicle, and you do that by just pinching, just doing this, and that when you do that motion, it basically shoots your vehicle up and makes a jump movement. Here's the challenging part: you have a very limited amount of gas that you're able to use. The fuel, as you hold it, runs out very quickly, and it will slowly fill itself back up again. And then you can also get little drops of gas canisters throughout the map as well. So you have to think about the map, how much gas you're using, because there's holes and gaps that you have to cross, plus the traps. And that's where it gets hard. And then you have this tentacle creature that's like chasing you from behind, right? So it's like you're trying to avoid and stay in front of that. You're trying to avoid the traps. You're trying to avoid the gaps in the track. And then things get faster and faster and faster. And it gets hard.
And it does get hard. Like, even, for me, who's played it a lot, it gets hard. And it's one of those ones where you get it up to quite a high level, and then you just slightly miss something, and it's
oh yeah, well, it's all the way back, right? So it's like, oh no, now I got to go all the way back again.
Yeah, back to the beginning. No, but we wanted that strategicness to it. We wanted to add that element of the gamification into it to make it a bit more strategic. So, hopefully there's a few more people that get past. I can see, and just going like level 3.
I'm right there. So so getting things done said level 3, and Jay Dunn did an awesome video as well, and I watched it because I wanted to see where his score was. And he's just beat me in score. I want to say his score was 130. 130, I think his score was. My score was about I think it was 121 is my high score. But level 3, zone 3 is where I am.
You're similar, zone 3.
And just to jump on that, getting things done comment, we're really big on the game center integration. So that is where actually we'll be talking with the team about that next week to see if that's something, because high score is what it's all about.
Yeah, because that'll bring me back, right? Because if I can go in and beat Jay Dunn, hey, he says he's 147. How dare you?
147 now.
So my high score. My high score in the production version, which had no cheat modes on it, because obviously when we're testing, we have cheat modes, is 1200.
1200? That's insane. Oh my god! I'm like, oh my! I pushed to get to 120, 121. I'm like,
Emma in our team who did it in some QA
780.
780. Okay.
One of our QA team, and that was only one of it. She had only played it a handful of times when she started QA.
Yeah, she's
and
very
she just
good.
did it. She got a 780.
Yeah,
and I was actually quite offended because it had taken me a long time to get to those numbers.
Like, how'd you do
and it was
so
about
quick?
a third or fourth.
But you're right. Like, and Jay Dunn's right too. Like, if you put a scoreboard there or something where you see high scores, that would absolutely
you give me a leaderboard and I'm gonna chase it like
definitely.
My god.
Yeah, you would love this game. This is a game that's like right up your alley. It's just one of those cool games where you can jump in for, like Jay Dunn said, he's been playing every day. You can jump in for 15 minutes or 20 minutes or half an hour.
Yeah.
You don't. It's not one of those games where you're like, oh no, I have to get back in there again and remember where I was, remember what I was doing. Like you can go back to this game at any time. It's just one of those very cool games you can just get in and chill and get in the zone and do your thing with it. It's super cool like that. But a leaderboard, you would love a leaderboard.
Yeah, and I would love to play this game if Mash would like to buy one for me and I can pay him back in 24 months.
Well, Jessica, Anton, that's a question. Like this, so this is mixed reality. Technically, this could operate on the Quest 3. So you have a build for it. I mean, any plans? Did they freeze or are they scared of the Quest 3?
Oh man, I think they froze.
Oh my God, that is the perfect spot for you guys. Did you,
Wait, they're back.
guys? Are you back?
Maybe.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
back.
we're
We're
back.
back.
Did you
I can
freeze
say we're
on
frozen. Do
purpose?
we have funny faces?
Okay, that was the
No.
funniest thing. No, you froze right when I said any plans to put this on the Quest 3, and you froze, and I was like, oh my God, I just
Oh,
scared
yeah,
him
we're
out of
gonna
here.
freeze again.
Oh, it's too funny.
Yep,
But yeah, what I was
that's a
saying is, you know,
perfect
for people
We
like
hope
D
so.
or for people like D or anybody out there who, you know, just there's a lot of people out there just can't get an Apple Vision Pro, and you do have a version.
I'd
You
love
said you had a version of, you know, a build working on a Quest 3. Any plans to bring it to the Quest 3 and maybe bring it to the mass people?
We've spoken about it. We would love to bring it to Quest. The key piece right now is performance of the Quest and being and how much we could really pull that back from the Vision build to be able to bring that over to a Quest. It is definitely doable, but it's we need support from those gamers who want to buy our games, and then if we get that support, you know, we'd love to bring that over. But it's not quite just an easy port. It's there's a little bit to it.
Yeah, but yeah, we do have the early prototype of it in there, and so you know we know we can do a lot of what we're already doing. We know it's fun in it, and there's other things you can do, which because as you said earlier, that headset is much more designed for gamers, so we can do a lot more than what we've actually done with, you know, in terms of the gaming point of view.
So having controllers actually, you know, would be awesome. It's it makes things a lot easier.
So it's on the cards. I can't make any promises, but we really hope we can. We would love to bring it to Meta, of course. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, you know, and that's the thing I say about this game. Like, this isn't the deepest game. You know what I mean? It's not. You know, you guys haven't even fleshed it out as fully as you want to yet. These are the things that we need to support on a new headset, because we need to give you guys a reason to continue to put more content on it, to do more things. So, you know, when anybody out there who's looking at this, you know, it's like a to be continued, you know, chapter next, you know, those are the things that you hope to do if you get support. So people need to like kind of buy into the system, to buy into the program, buy into the promise of, if you play it and you buy it, we'll be able to do more. We'll be able to do more things. And that's the things that people need to understand, especially when we're talking about new hardware. Technically, this is a dev kit. Like you just said, you had to build this game without even having the headset. So technically, this is a dev kit. So whatever this is going to be turn into, the next headset or the one after that, we got to support games like yours.
And it's expensive, right? It's, you know, this, when you are developing on new hardware, it's not cheap. And you know, we have a great team behind us, but yeah, it's not cheap exercises. But so far, you know, the reaction has been really good, and we'd love to continue building it further.
We have so many stories and characters and new mechanics and, you know, enemies and everything and comics. We just want to bring it all out and share it with everybody. So yeah, thank you, Eric. You're right. We need to support each other, all of us, in this industry, so that we have the resources to continue to keep building on new hardware and then porting things over to other hardware, because it's not as simple as pushing a button, that's for sure.
And it probably won't be quite as shiny.
And that's the thing too, is like, you know, everybody's, you know, saying, okay, it's an endless runner, but you guys have to, you have to see this in the headset to know how graphically beautiful it is. I mean, it is a mixed reality thing over your own environment, but it's gorgeous. I mean, literally, you guys have put so much detail into this, you know, main scene that you see.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, it's the only one, I believe, the only mixed reality actual 3D runner in there. It's not just on a 2D screen in front of you, which is, of course, some of the other ones that are ported over, you know. But yeah, so it's it's fun, like you say. It's hard, it's fun, it's strategic, and yeah, we've got a lot more. Yeah, and we clearly have got some updates that people want us to do that we want to do too. So yeah, we can't wait to share more.
Absolutely. Support it. Buy the game. Getting Things Done says buy the game. That's what he is. Everybody, if you have an Apple Vision Pro, go buy the game. That's all I can say. Everybody who owns an Apple Vision Pro, support developers, go buy the game. Whether you think you're even going to like it or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter. Just buy the game. It's not that expensive. How much is it, guys, on the Apple Vision Pro store?
It's $9.99.
Shoot.
It's
Bring
so
it.
cheap.
I need
He's like, give me an Apple Vision Pro and I'll go buy it right now.
First game I'm buying. Boom.
Yeah, and that's what it is. You know,
Yeah.
there's not many built from the ground up. And that's one of the things that I say. There are a lot of forced iPad ports that are just like, hey, let me jam my iPad game into the Apple Vision Pro, and and it's not the same. They're okay, they're fun, but they're not the same. Like this is a built from the ground up, feels like a built from the ground up, app or game for the Apple Vision Pro. And then if we want to see more of these things, we have to support the people like you who are taking chances to do these things. So, yeah, everybody go buy it now. Promise. I love it. You got to see what happens to Hank. I want to know, like, again, you said the comic book. The comic book thing is so fun because literally you get a chance to open up this huge comic book in front of you and like read through the comic. There's a couple of them there that kind of give a little backstory and tell you things. And you can see where it's like a spot for the next comic. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see what that next comic's going to be.
Yeah. Well, that might actually already be done, that next comic. So,
Nice.
there's some things waiting, ready to go.
Haruko says, I don't even have an Apple Vision Pro, but I'll go buy it. if it was possible, I would say do it.
Bless.
Nice. Guys, what's on the horizon besides anything in the horizon you want to talk about that you have come besides Runaways, or anything you're working on that you can talk about a little bit?
He's out.
I mean, we've got a few little prototypes we've been playing around with. We love the going from mixed reality into virtual reality, and I think we've seen some new experiences coming out this week on the Apple Vision Pro.
I'm going to talk about. I did one today, man. It was so cool. Yeah.
So cool. But we've got a little game called Zips, which we've been prototyping since last year, which is like where 3D zips open in your space, and you can see then into VR through them, and certain things come out of those zips, and you're under a certain amount of pressure to zip them up before they get into your space, or you can go into their space.
Oh my God, I want to know what this is now.
It's super fun, but it's real early days. We're thinking maybe with the changes happening with Meta and the App Lab, we're really watching that closely and seeing, well, what are the opportunities for us to, again, build with the community, get some early prototypes out there of these, and then further develop them. If funding comes along, that's always an important thing as well, right? For companies like ours, is to have that funding support sometimes from those platforms to be able to get that out.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's one thing.
Yep. And I truly want to see, like, I'll put it out there. Anybody watching now from Meta, Todd and I are part of the QCP, the Quest Creator Program. So there's probably some people from Meta watching. Go fund this game. I want to see. I want to see it on the Quest 3. I'd love to see this game on the Quest 3. I'd love to see you flesh it out, make it a full-blown game, put it to the Quest 3. Those are the things that we want. Like, I want cool mixed reality stuff that's all mixed reality. Like, I'm still getting tastes of mixed reality on the Quest. I want a full-blown game all the way through in mixed reality.
Yeah, totally.
And we have some. We actually have in our little backlog. We have a couple of fully fledged mixed reality game concepts that we've been talking to a couple of platforms about. But we agree that there's a lot of the mixed reality stuff that's come out over the years, whether it be Magic Leap or HoloLens, they've all been great tasters. And it's like, wow, this could be awesome. So I think we're at a time now that these games can start to be produced. We have the hardware and be able to make these fully fledged spatial titles, which don't limit you to one play space. So it could be your entire house could be a game. There's a whole lot of opportunity, and we definitely have a few cool concepts that are sitting in the port, sitting in the lock cupboard, waiting for the right time.
Love it. Guys, you're awesome. I'd love for you to come back on again. If you have anything new coming, or if you do a new chapter, please come back on. Let's just come back on. I want to know more about your past and like what Jessica, you were doing, and Anton, you were doing, back in the day. You guys sounds like you have a rich history in virtual reality, and I love hearing some of the OG stories way back when. So please come back anytime. It would be awesome. And get Todd in here and talk to you about you guys too, because he was so sad he missed this one. He's a huge fan of the Apple Vision Pro, so he was like, I can't believe I missed this one.
Thank you. Yeah, we'd love to come back, and thanks for having us. We really appreciate it, and all the lovely comments. And thank you, everybody. We appreciate your support.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys. Go enjoy your beautiful day out there in New Zealand. You guys deserve it.
Absolutely gorgeous.
You have definitely earned it.
Jealous.
We'll have to bring out to New Zealand. it's better than Sweden.
But then
I'm
pretty
down.
good games come from Sweden. We can't lie about that.
Well, I was going to say, you know, I mean, if Sweden is one of the biggest capitals for gaming studios, Australia and New Zealand have a ton of them too. So I'm down. I'll come anytime. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, come on.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a
Thanks,
great night. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye. D, that was so awesome, man. They're just so cool. I love
They were
freaking cool
lovely.
people. Seriously. And then hanging out in New Zealand. Do you see that background?
Oh, dude.
That was sick.
I need to win the lotto, dude.
That was super cool. They're very guys. This game, I'm not kidding. This game, like these types of games, these like very addictive. You know, again, it's nothing. You know, it's the basis of a game, right? Like it's the beginnings of a game. It's not full yet. Like it's going to be more. Like when it's more, it's going to be amazing. But now you're not buying the game for. I mean, you're buying it for now because again, look at Jadon. He's played it every day. But you're more investing in what you hope the game to be, or what you hope other games to be for $9.99. Those are the things. Whether it's for the Apple Vision Pro or the Quest, those are the things you got to support.
Yeah. And $10. Come on, man. Come on, man. I don't have that button. I do have this one though. Wait.
Come on, D.
Yeah. Jim Hall.
Come on, D. Who's that?
Jim Hall, everybody.
Oh, is that Jim Hall's voice?
Yeah.
That's too funny.
Come on, D.
Come on, D. I love
Come
it.
on, D.
Obscure Nerd is VR's here. What's up, Andy? How are you doing? Techno Glitch says great interview. This is getting things done. Said great interview. Arlen, the Arc Reactor. It was great, man. Just fun people. Bluebell said great guests. Radio Run is here. D. Radio Run.
Radio Run. I don't
No,
have
you
a
gotta
button
do-
for that, so I had to type
do-
it out.
Do the song. Don't
The
close
song?
your eyes.
Oh, he does that. We gotta
I know
bring
he
him
does
on
it
to
so good.
Don't
I know.
close your eyes.
But yeah, it was a great interview, everybody, and I'm glad we had a chance to have Anton and Jessica in here. It was super cool. D, I'm telling you right now, my daughter, you know, playing it in Epcot, it was just one of the coolest things. And I'm lugging my Vision Pro around with me everywhere at Epcot. Crazy. All right, guys, it's time, D.
No, it's not. No.
I'm going to close my eyes. I wanted to close my eyes during that state of play.
I wanted to do one of those.
Jay Dunn says, is it rant time now? I have thoughts.
I'll keep one ear on.
I have thoughts, D.
Tell my radio.
Long Shot says, great interview. You make great content. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We're trying to make more as much as we can. Time wise is killing me, but we're going to try and do more as we can. But thank you very much for saying that. D, I watched the state of play today. I have to say, I'm going to do this like I do every time. I want to preface anything I say right now by saying this. I love my PlayStation VR2 headset. It's great. It's a great headset. I absolutely love it. The games that they have on it are some of the best games that I've played in VR. Game of the year last year for me was a PlayStation VR2 game. It is over a year old now. And PlayStation has completely and utterly decided to abandon this headset. And I'm not kidding. It's not even me. It's not even me being like over dramatic. It's not me trying to grab onto something and be like over the top. Okay. So, cause I get that everybody's like, oh, Eric, you just want something to rant about. You want to bitch. You want to find something. Guys, I don't need something to find here. They are giving all of us clear signals. They don't care. They have invested in the headset. Now they're done. They've decided that they decided to move on. It's all over. Okay, it's all over for them. Okay, and Looper, I get you. Okay, I'm gonna tell you there was two great announcements here. I'm telling you right now, I'm not gonna give Sony credit for Behemoth. I'm gonna give Skydance credit for Behemoth. I'm going to give every developer who's developing for the PlayStation VR credit for whatever is on that platform. Sony doesn't care, my friend. They don't. They have moved on. The headset will be there. And if you want to go put your game there, you can do it. But don't ask them to do anything else because they're not going to. They had a chance to do it. They had a chance today to do it. All they had to do was one thing. and everything changes. Take some money and invest it in Astrobot VR. That's all. Everything would have changed. It doesn't matter what you put in that show. As soon as Astrobot comes on at the end, and as soon as it says PlayStation 5 and there's no mention of VR, the entire air comes out of that entire state of play. Looper, I understand you love PlayStation and you want to defend them. I do too. I love PlayStation, but you have to be sitting there to yourself going, dude, I don't know. Like literally, come on, let's be fair. Let's be fair. If they announced Astrobot VR, this is a different conversation. I am all over this. I am all over going, yes, absolutely. They've decided to double down. They're putting some money into this. They had Team Asobi do what they need to do and make a VR version of Astrobot. Then I feel like Sony's committed. Sony is not committed because of Aliens and freaking Behemoth. Servios and Skydance are committed because of Behemoth. Don't give me, PlayStation cares. They're bringing Aliens and Behemoth to the PlayStation VR 2. Bullshit. They are not bringing them there. Skydance and Servios are bringing them there. The developers who are working their asses off to make these games are bringing them to PlayStation. I'm not going to give Sony credit for supporting this. It's not Sony. Any games that you see coming to the PlayStation now are not the work of Sony. They're the hard work of the developers who are putting their money, their time, their people on projects to go to that platform. There is no investment in Sony here. Tell me there's one inkling that's telling you right now that Sony cares about this headset. Point to one thing. Give me one thing, and I'll change my. You give me one thing that's real, and I'll change my thought right now, and I'll change it. I swear, I'll look into it. But there is not. You can't tell me you went through that state of play. Do I love Behemoth? Hell yeah, I love Behemoth. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I'm under NDA, but I was there. Okay, you guys saw the pictures. The headset that I did it on was a PlayStation headset. I love the PlayStation. I love PlayStation VR 2. I love the headset. I have a problem with Sony. You can't tell me that Sony is doing good things right now for this headset. Like, you can't be fair and tell me that. It's not, you have to admit it. Everybody has to admit it now. Look, I was hoping against hope that at the end, I knew they were going to announce Astrobot at the end. We all saw the list. I'm just hoping, and they didn't even need to show it. At the end, when they come up with the screen that says coming to PlayStation 5, why, if they had just said, and also PSVR 2, that's all I would have needed. Everything changes. They don't care. Are they going to announce it later? Why would they announce it later, D?
Maybe to oh man, I just realized I'm frozen.
I just thought you were happy with. I just figured you were smiling and happy with my rant right now.
So maybe I should just leave my picture like this, dude.
Yeah, then you could be happy the whole time. But look, D,
I don't know. Maybe to drag
think?
out the prolong the. I don't know, man.
Come on, D.
Come on, D. Jim Hull says, "Come on, D."
I know.
Look,
I'm gonna have to restart OBS.
Look, guys, go back a year. Go back 8 months. Go back 10 months. Looper, go back 10 months. I am the biggest apologist for Sony back then. I'm telling everybody, you got to wait. Everybody's saying the same thing. Everybody. This is 10 months ago. Everybody's saying the same thing. No, Sony doesn't care about that. And I'm like, no. You got to give them time. You got to give Sony time. I apologized for Sony for almost a year after launch for not showing this headset in the proper lights, for not promoting it, for not advertising it, for not putting it on sale, for not bundling it. I apologized to them for a long time. And now I can't. At some point, I have to go, I don't know what the frick they're doing. I just don't. I don't know what they're doing. Like, I don't know. And I just want everybody, D, I mean, are you in the same boat as me? Like, I know that there are people out there that are like, you're too hard on Sony. Am I being too hard on Sony here? And
No, because
feel free to
seriously,
disagree
it's
with
been
me.
it's
Seriously.
been no, it's been a year and a half, and what they made like a commercial, 2 maybe. They're not. Yeah, I don't
I mean, they
like you
finally
said.
put it on
They gave
sale.
up. Oh,
I mean, thank God, I'm happy. Look, I was happy when they announced. Motherfucker. Listen, this is the time, guys. This is the time. Look, you're having your state of play. You just announced $100 off. You just announced $100 off. Why? In 6 titles that you're going to be giving away with it. Here it is. Like, here's your shot. You have a state of play days after this. Here's your shot. Astrobot, VR, everything changes. This whole rant is not. This is all me. This is me gushing and saying, I'm sorry, Sony. I shouldn't have doubted you. You are here to stay. You're supporting your headset. Instead, everything has come, all the air has come out of the room. Tell me, I was sitting there in that whole chat with GT, watching that entire thing, and I'm just waiting, and I'm looking at chat because I want to read the chat. I know what's coming. I already know what's coming, but I want to see what everybody else says. I want to see what everybody else feels. So I'm watching the chat, and all of a sudden, after everything everybody's going, hey, Behemoth is great. Behemoth looks awesome. I'm like, yeah, Alien looks great. I'm like, yeah, it looks awesome. Right? Silent Hill looks awesome. But tell me the air didn't come out of the room as soon as Astrobot hits and there's no VR.
Yeah.
That kills everything.
We just needed 2 little letters. V and R. That's all we want. At the end.
It's just unfair. Like,
Or
literally,
even just like tease it, or something, like put a headset, in the game somewhere, or like at the end there when they hit the button or whatever, something, but nothing.
it's just, and again, like I'm so happy that Behemoth is going to be. Thank you to John Long for becoming a Q2C supporter, and I appreciate it. And then gifted a membership. Thank you very much to Arlen of the Arc Reactor. I love the name now. But look, I was all ready, D. Like, if they announced one thing, I was ready. I was ready to just say, I'm there. Like, I already knew Behemoth was coming to PlayStation VR 2. Many people did. This is not news. This is we got to see the trailer, okay? Which is great. You know what I mean? I've been waiting for everybody to see the trailer. Like, you have no idea how much this kills me. Like, I was there over a week ago and did the demo, okay? I just can't say, like, I'm locked until a certain date. I'm locked. I can't say anything. I can't say anything. Like, anything. It's just so hard. It kills me, literally. And I'm glad that Skydance put the game on there. And here's what I promise. And here's what I'll say. Screw Sony completely. Screw Sony. We're going to support the PlayStation VR 2 headset. I don't care about Sony. I don't. I care about the PlayStation VR 2 headset, and I care about all the people like Looper who want to play on that headset, who want to play PlayStation VR 2. That's who I care about. And today, after this whole thing happened, D, I basically said to myself, I am going to do everything I can to make sure that as many games get ported to the PlayStation VR 2 headset as I can. I vow right now, I'm telling you all, if it is possible for me and Flat to VR Studios to bring every possible game we can to the PlayStation VR 2 headset, I will. We will. We'll support it. We'll do it for Sony because there's a ton of fans out there that want to support it. We will put the product there to make people go buy the headset. That's what we will do. We will push. We will find inexpensive ways to port titles to that headset. So there's so many freaking good games there that people have to go buy it. But Sony's not doing that. Don't think that Sony's doing that. That's people like Flat to VR Studios and people like VR Monkey and people like Skydance and people, developers like that are putting their time and effort into it. That is not Sony. But me, I saw all those people today in that chat, super disappointed. There are thousands and millions of people that have bought, maybe not millions. There's hundreds of thousands of people that have bought this headset. I will support them. That's who I support, D. I don't care about Sony. They have abandoned the headset. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't. But we won't. We won't, D. We'll figure out ways to do it. We'll figure out ways to make it and do it affordably so we don't lose a ton of money. But that means, guys, when we go put games on there, you have to go buy them. That's what I'm saying. We'll do that. We'll do it. But you have to go buy them. You have to support it. You have to. You have to put your dollars there. So forget about Sony. I'm not. Look, we're going to make this game successful. Despite of Sony. Despite of Sony, we're going to make this thing successful. That's all I can say. We were going to support it before. We were going to do what we could to support it before. Like literally with like everything that we can do, we're going to support it. But now, after today, D, I came out of that thing going, you know what? There are so many good people that are like just disappointed or that want to do this. There was like 400 people watching DT's stream, man.
Yeah.
Most of them are PlayStation people that want to be able to enjoy that headset. Why can't we go and talk to some of the PlayStation VR 1 people and figure out a way to port some of those PSVR 1 games onto the PlayStation VR 2? If Sony won't do it, why can't I? Why can't I, D?
It's all up to you, Mash.
That's a lot of weight on my shoulders, D.
Yeah, well,
I gotta save the entire
dude.
PlayStation VR 2.
Let's go. Yep. Now. Start
I better
now.
get to work. But seriously, why? Look at that library. Sony has no plans. I guarantee you, no plans to take any of that PSVR 1 library and bring it over. But what if we went and said to some of those developers, we got a good path. We have a good path and we have good people. Let us take your game and let us take your classic PSVR 1 and bring it over.
Help me, help you. Help me, help you. Come on. That's what you got to tell them. Help me, help you.
Sony is going to make me have to do this.
Yep.
I don't know, dude. That's all I have to say about that. I mean, look.
That's all I got to say about that.
That's how I came out. That's what I came out of that whole thing with. Like, I'm so like, and I wasn't even mad. Like, I was sitting there during that whole thing. And I'm just watching chat. I know what's coming. Like, I already know what's coming. Okay. I knew the list. I knew what was going to be there and I knew what wasn't going to be there. Okay. Again, the curse of having knowledge you can't share. Okay. But I'm watching the chat and I'm just like, I just want to see what people say. I want to see how people react. And everybody was like, leading up to that point, everybody was like, oh, exciting. Behemoth, aliens. It's great. They look great, D. I mean,
yeah.
Again, I can't talk about Behemoth, but you saw the video.
Right.
Great.
It looks good.
Aliens looks great. I mean, they gave us a little piece of gameplay. It wasn't much, about 5 seconds of video. Okay, they gave us something. But as soon as Astrobot comes on the screen and it's not VR, it's over at that point for all the VR people. There's not much you could have put on there that wouldn't have disappointed people in the end.
Right.
Arlen, Artful is here. What's up, Artful? How you doing, man? Thanks for coming in here in late night for you. Silent Hill is also Unreal Engine 4, so perfect for UE VR. It's coming in September. That was a couple of good things. So there was a couple of good things reported here, D. God of War PC. We didn't know that was coming. That was cool. So why not VR mod for God of War? That'll be freaking awesome. Concord looks like shit. It's more puked out, same shit that I've seen 5v5.
Same shit.
Come on, man. You're going to give me Overwatch again? It's fucking Overwatch. I don't care what you say about Concord.
Different skin.
It's a different skin. And did you see how long they spent on Concord? 10 minutes. Literally, I counted 10 minutes It might have been a couple. Actually, it might have been 12 minutes on Concord. It's an Overwatch. I literally thought it was Overwatch 2. I thought, like, what the? And it's what it looks like. And then I'm like, is this a campaign? It would look cool as a campaign. I was like hoping that when they
Would
came
be.
out at the end, we're like 5v5. Screw off. Tired of that
Oh,
garbage.
don't
We've seen
take
it a
off,
million
eh?
times. Take off, hoser. Ugh. Garbage. God of War look cool. Dynasty Warriors, D. I was a Dynasty Warriors fan way back.
Yeah.
Oh my god, controlling huge armies as you like try and like work the battlefield and like control units and like I thought that was super cool. That would be cool to do in VR.
I thought I froze again. I'm like, shit.
Michael Verheyen says
Yes.
Luke Ross is getting rich over the backs of VR lovers.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, somebody needs to do these things. I'm just happy there's people doing them. Like, I'm okay with Luke Ross doing what he's doing. I don't begrudge him. He puts a lot of work into what he's doing. I wish that the studios did them instead, and they can. People like Luke Ross and Prey Dog and Rocky Parda and Flat to VR Studios prove that you can do these things. You have to be smart doing them. That's all. You have to be smart. You can't put millions and millions of dollars in these things because you're not going to get it out. You can't be Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed Nexus and put $15 million into it. And then when you make 7, you're like, we lost money. You're a VR game and you make 7 million. You should be freaking jumping over the moon, not going, we can't. I don't know if we can support VR in the future. We only made $7 million. Get out of here, freaking Ubisoft.
You set the bar too damn high on that number, dude.
Take off, eh? Prey Dog doesn't ask for money. Hey, look, everybody's different. Prey Dog has got a different situation. You know what I mean? Look, there are a lot of modders out there that just do it as a passion, but there are some people out there that do it, as a full-time living. Like, how do you survive? Like, I'm okay with look, and I have not always been the biggest supporter of Luke Ross, especially after he kind of like bailed on some of his mods after Take-Two got into him. It was Take-Two or it was Rockstar, whatever.
Rockstar.
But yeah, so I was like, okay, I didn't like the way he handled that whole situation, but I'm okay with a modder charging. Like, I don't assume that every modder should do everything for free. There's a lot of hard work that goes into these things. Like, these people, a lot of these modders would love to be able to get rid of their full-time jobs or whatever they're doing and work and do these things full-time. That's why we started Flat to VR Studios. We want to be able to take some of these brilliant people that are making mods and make their dreams come true and let them work on games for a living. Those are the ones you have to support. You got to try and, there's some brilliant people out there that have been doing it. They work 50 hours a week in a normal job. And then, on their part-time, taking away from their lives to go make these mods that we all enjoy. So I'm okay with giving them, supporting them. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Luke Ross, but I'm still okay with anybody who wants to support Luke Ross. He does some amazing things.
Yeah. He made let me try that again. Might have had some missteps, but you can't deny what he's done for, the VR industry. So
yeah. Definitely. All right. So what else here? Infinite Nikki. Did you see Infinite Nikki? Holy crap. Did you see this thing? I don't know what the hell this was. Some kind of like dress up game?
I don't know. I think I had it on in the background while I was
oh my god. I'm like, what is this thing? It looked like women, like girls wearing dresses, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, Sony, like, what are you pulling out the stops of your game of play that Infinite Nikki? Ballad of Antera. I don't even remember this one. It was right before the VR stuff, and I didn't really even see much of it, but a couple of these things looked kind of cool. Was that the one that looked like almost like an Elden Ring kind of clone? Battle of Antera? I think it was.
It may have been I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it was. Then we got the VR stuff right after that. We got Skydance Behemoth and an Alien Rogue Incursion. And when they moved on from the VR at that point, if you weren't like, oh fuck, you should have been like, oh shit. But you know what? Look, people were wrapped up in the two games because freaking Behemoth looked the video of Behemoth looked awesome. And Alien, while very short, it's exciting. I'm excited for Alien. So we got those two, and then we went with Where Winds Meet. Until Dawn looked good, D.
Yes.
That looks freaking awesome. I was excited for that one.
Yeah.
What was people saying here about that game? Or Michael Verheyen said, "Don't get me wrong, I love mod community, but Ross is a bit greedy." You know what? I can't fight you off there. I mean, he definitely could do things differently or cheaper, or you know, I'm kind of like in the middle. I'm okay with him doing it, but I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, and I'm not gonna pat him on the back. I mean, he does make good money, but I'm okay with anybody making money. It just, but you know, I want to see these guys get paid somewhat. Let's see what else did. Kensai VR Gaming is here. Or Kensai Gaming VR is here. What's up, dude? How are you doing? Congratulations. I won't say what for because I don't know if it's public, but congratulations. Let's see.
I hate when you teach shit like that. And I don't know
Artful
what you're
say that was a
talking
game for Sony to say girls like to game too, or for Sadman. Yeah, that was the Infinite Nikki thing. I'm like, what? What are we seeing here? Like, I don't know. Like, what? I don't even know what audience that would be for. Like, who's
I don't
what?
know.
Like the whoever that audience was. You think they're actually watching your gaming showcase? No, they're not. People are.
No,
We are.
they're gonna watch the video afterwards of the game, you know, that they hear about.
What about Silent Hill? D? No VR in Silent Hill. You
Oh
disappointed?
yeah, I'm so broken up over that. But no, I am because dude, look what you know, Resident Evil 8 and stuff in VR, and I'm not the biggest fan of horror and that kind of stuff in VR or flat, but you know, there's no again denying that those kind of games are a big draw. You know,
Yeah.
look at Wes. You know, Wes freaking horror this, all that. But yeah.
I'm curious to see what I would love to know. I didn't watch any PSVR without Pearl stuff. I don't know what they think. Like, I'm curious to see what the PSVR without, like, Wes is a huge PSVR 2 fan or PSVR fan, you know, Sony fan. Look, I am too. Like, I'm not a Sony fan anymore, but I'm a big PlayStation VR 2 fan. But I would just like to know what, like if anybody out there saw, did anybody see what Brian said or did, or anybody like, I haven't talked to Wes. I haven't had a chance to talk to Wes since the thing. Since the state of
Nikki
play, like,
said something about it earlier. Let me see if I can find it.
I mean, to me, look, yeah, please go. If there's something you can find, go find it. But if there's anybody out there coming out of that thing going, man, this is awesome, I'm so excited, you are lying to yourself. There's just no way. Like, and I would say, I'll say this to Wes, like, if we're gonna get together and do Virtual Stranger this week, like, I would love to know, like, and Wes is very good about keeping an even keel. He's not me. Well, you know, I mean, Wes doesn't rant. He doesn't do that. He's a very even keel. But I mean, look, there's no way he's coming out of that going, wow. Like, he already knew about Behemoth. He already knew about Alien. We all did. So there's no way that he's coming out of there going, man, this is a huge win for PlayStation VR 2. Like, the fact that we're not getting a VR version of Astrobot is not good news. It's bad news. Like, there's no way that anybody is coming out of there going, man, what Sony really rocked it. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I know he wasn't there, but the West wasn't there. But I still want to. I just haven't had a chance to talk to him to see, you know, what his thoughts are, and I'll get them. But we'll talk about it, I'm sure. But um, you know, look, there's gonna be games going there. We just got to make sure we support the games that go there for the developers, not for Sony.
I think the chat's cut it off, but all right.
Here's the deal. Like, I'm looking at this. So Silent Hill, Monster Hunter, which looked cool, Monster Hunter Wilds, and then Astrobot. Okay, so this is the state of play. Concord previously announced. God of War PC was a new reveal of an older game, or an old game, or a game that's already been out. Dynasty Warriors Origins was new. Infinite Nikki was previously announced. I mean, who didn't know about that burner of a game? Ballad of Antara was a new reveal. Skydance Aliens previously announced. We all knew they were coming. Where Winds Meet previously announced. Until Dawn previously announced. Path of Exile, which did look really cool too, previously announced. Silent Hill 2 remake previously announced. Monster Hunter Wilds previously announced. Astrobot new reveal. That is not like, I don't know. For me, in a gaming showcase, if I see that many previously announced, I have a problem.
Yeah.
I want some new stuff. Like,
Right.
Show me some new stuff. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, like, it's okay to have a couple of those. If you're showing me like Behemoth is fine there because you showed me gameplay trailer, which we haven't seen yet, which is cool. But
Right.
you can't have. There's more previously announced here than new reveal. At least it should be 50-50. It's not even close. Look,
It's apparently asking for too much. No. They can't fill
got
up a
1,
whole
2,
30-minute segment with at least, like you said, 50% new. No, because they don't have anything, you know?
13 games, D. They announced 13 games, and you had 1, 2, 3, 4 new reveals.
So, yeah. Sad.
Not even half. Not even close to half. Like, come on, man. Like, give me something new. Like, again, I'm okay with having previously announced stuff, especially if you have new stuff to show.
Like, make me more excited about what you've already shown us before, you know? But, yeah.
There's some exciting stuff here. Until Dawn looks awesome. Path of Exile looked pretty good. Silent Hill 2 remake, I'm excited. But like, look, like those are things you could show me anywhere. We already knew they were coming. You could show me like a state of play. Give me at least give me 7 or 8 new reveals in that state of play. If that's how many games you're giving me. You gave me 10 to 12 minutes of Concord. 10 to 12 minutes. Like I'm going into that thing going, wow, this thing's going to be 30 minutes long, and they just showed me 10 minutes of Concord. I think they ended up finishing up right around the 35-minute mark or something, right, like that.
Right.
So they went a little over, but I mean, 10 minutes to 12 minutes of Concord, which is just another ho-hum freaking Overwatch game, man. If that was a campaign, I'm down, D. I'm like, give me that.
Right.
If that was a campaign and it was VR, come on, give me that.
Come on, D.
Come on, D, give me that. Come on, D.
Come on, D.
All right. PlayStation, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Next, roll the clip, Todd.
Roll the
What?
clip. All right, let's talk about the sale. $100 off, D, with 6 free titles. With your Sony PlayStation Store Premium account. You're gonna get Ghostbusters: Rise of the Ghost Lord, Walkabout Mini Golf, Synth Riders, Before Your Eyes, and Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners Chapter 1 and Chapter 2.
Oh, snap.
This is a good
Okay.
deal. Like,
Except
this
for
is what I've been asking for. Yeah, it's a good deal, right, D?
Except for Ghostbusters.
Yeah, no, nobody wants Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. I still haven't played it. I haven't gone into it like 5 minutes. No.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Artful says at least Sony can sell a few more OG PlayStation VR Gen 1 headsets when Astrobot drops to flat in September. Astrobot looked awesome too, by the way. I'm playing that game. I'm going to get that game. I'm going to play it.
I'm going to play it, but I'm going to be like, it should have been in.
Well, yeah, no. I'm going to be every minute I play it. I'm going to be like, why wasn't this in VR? But don't tell me you didn't see that and go, wow, this game looks phenomenal.
Yeah, but you know what? There is still time. You know what? I'm for that game. Like, what? I wasn't in VR when PSVR 1 was.
I know you
here.
missed a lot of good ones.
I did, but I did play it after the fact. Like when I moved here, like that was one of the first things that Roots did was like put me in that headset. But how was that when it first came out? Like, what was the reaction to it?
It was crazy. It was so good. Look, you see, you have to remember the landscape here. PlayStation VR 1 kind of won. Like it was the headset. Like literally, it was the headset because it was a console version of VR that wasn't out there. It was before standalone. So any other VR gaming, you needed a PC.
Right.
Quest didn't come out until afterwards, and PlayStation had kick-ass games.
Right.
Their demo disc was better than most games. PlayStation VR Worlds was kick-ass, and they promoted the shit out of it. They didn't even have proper controllers. They were still using Move controllers.
Oh boy.
But they still promote the shit. Sony put more into the PlayStation VR 1 headset, which was a bit of a train wreck because they kind of threw things together to make it, than they ever did this built from the ground up amazing piece of technology. This PlayStation VR 2 headset is great. The controllers are great. It's way better than the PlayStation VR 1 ever was. but they supported a quarter of what they supported the PlayStation VR 1. That PlayStation VR 1 they threw together, they didn't even have proper controllers for it, D. You were using Move controllers.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure. They had developers trying to figure out, how do I make my game work with a freaking Move controller?
Sad.
It's just, and it just boggles my mind. Like, they put all this money into the PlayStation VR 2 headset, and they just don't seem like they give a shit. It cost them millions and millions of dollars to develop this thing. And they had a good first year. They had a good start. They had a good 6 months. And then they were just like,
Meh.
whatever.
They went meh.
But D, but what you said was right. PlayStation VR 1 won. They had it. They won the early round.
Then why
question.
not like follow in that? That doesn't sound right. Those footsteps. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't understand. No, what you're saying is right. It doesn't make any sense to me. I literally think it was regime change halfway in between. Somebody at Sony higher up, whether it was Jim Ryan or somebody else, was like, we are doing VR. It's going to be amazing. And then somewhere halfway through of right before launch or right during launch, hands changed. People came into power that didn't give a shit about VR, and they said, cut losses, move on to something else. That's how I feel about it. That's like, because tell me it doesn't feel like that. Everything was front loaded into the headset. First 6 months, we had all this amazingness. Since then, piece here, maybe a piece here. No advertising, no sales in the holiday. Game studios closing. No support by PlayStation. Promoting anything. It just seems different. Like that first 6 months was just like on fire, man. We had freaking GT7, we had Resident Evil 8 Village, we had Horizon Call the Mountain, we had
and they fixed Switchback,
Right.
and it looked even better. And it's like, yes, there's hope. And then boom.
And they just were like, okay, and then it became Portfest. Then it became Quest Portfest. That's all it is now. You know what I mean? That's all we saw. There's no Sony first parties. There's nothing here that says Sony is committed. Like I didn't mean to start back on this again, but literally it doesn't make any sense to me what you're saying, what you're asking there was, I wasn't there for PlayStation VR 1. How was it? It was awesome. Their demo disc is better than some of the shit they have on there now. PlayStation VR Worlds was awesome. It was kick-ass, man. And you had Astrobot Rescue Mission. You had freaking Rush of Blood. You had, oh my God, I'm blanking. What's the other game? Blood and Truth. You had Farpoint. You had some amazing games. You had Firewall Zero Hour. I mean, the list goes on of early games. Sony won. They won the early VR wars. They started a little bit later, but literally, I mean, Oculus was the darling, right? But Oculus was PC only still. It was a smaller audience. Sony had the power of the PlayStation 4 and that player base, plus a fairly inexpensive headset that had great games. Right?
Yeah.
That's why people were excited, and that's why they won.
Like, I want to finish. I never finished Farpoint, and I never finished Astrobot.
Looper's got a great point. Astrobot and Blood and Truth were years after. There was good stuff in the beginning, and they still continued to support it a year after. That's how you finish. That's how you win the wars on the PlayStation VR 1. That's why it won. It was supported later on. You don't win it by having an announcement of Astrobot that's flat. When Astrobot was created for VR, they took our precious VR IP and said, we're only going to make it flat now. That's telling. Tell me that's not. Astrobot was not a flat game ever. It was a VR game. Astrobot's Rescue Mission was a VR game. You weren't playing it anywhere else. until they did Astro's Playroom on the PlayStation 5 as a basic demo of what the controller was about. That's all Astro's Playroom was. It was a tech demo. The full-blown game that we're seeing here, that should be VR because that's what this started as, is a flat game only.
For now?
For now. Bluebell says never played Astrobot. You're missing out.
Oh, Bluebell.
You're missing out. You should go play it. You got to support the headset, man. You have to as Sony. Like you have to. Like because again, the developers will do it. We're going to put all games out there, but there are IPs that Sony owns that they are in control of, that they alone can put on that system to help sell it, and they won't. They're not going to. What happened to hybrid? What happened to Jim Ryan saying every game that is a flat game deserves to be a hybrid VR game as well? That was that was what they talked about. They talked about hybrid gaming, D.
Right.
That was their claim to fame for this headset.
Yeah. Maybe it's still coming.
I've been saying that I said that for a year, D. I can't say it anymore.
Well, now it's my turn to hold out hope,
All right.
damn it.
All right.
I got it for the
look,
next year, and then Todd, don't even worry about him.
I want to, D. Like, I want to support. I can't blindly support. And there are people that want to. Looper, I get you, man. Look, I appreciate that you are a very passionate PlayStation person, and I appreciate your take on it. But I just, in a private conversation, if me and you were talking, there's no way that you came out of this thing happy. There's just not. Like, if you're being honest with yourself, there's just no way you're like, you can't be happy that they didn't announce Astrobot VR. You got to be disappointed. Like, I mean, like anybody's disappointed. Radio Run says, what a waste of $1,100. Yeah, I get you. Like, I get you, man. Like, I'm with you. Like, I was the one telling everybody to go buy it. Like, and I still think it's a great headset. Support the developers that are developing for the headset. Don't support Sony. That's all I say. I got to move on because I'm ranting. I'm ranting again, D.
I'm
ranting again.
Dude. And I'm frozen again. Son of a bitch.
Well, you're looking down now, at least. I do think that this sale is a good deal. So after everything I've just said, let me say this. I think the sale is actually a good deal. So if you were on the fence about whether I should go buy a PlayStation VR 2, again, I'm not saying that that I believe you're going to see any big PlayStation, Sony first party titles in VR, but I still think that there are developers out there, like I've talked about a little while ago, that will support this headset on their own. So I do think that there are out there, and the library that's there now is some of the best gaming that you're going to find. So I would at 400. So it's normally $550 US dollars, $100 off. That's $440. Plus you get the Sony PlayStation Play Store Premium account so you get 6 titles free. Before Your Eyes, which is a cool eye tracking, very experience. Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 1 and 2, two of the best games out there. Synth Riders, which is awesome. Walkabout Mini Golf, that's an amazing game. And Ghostbusters is ho hum, but at least it's a known title, which is fine. I think this is a good deal. Like, would I like this? Would I prefer to see GT7 mixed in here? Yes. If you stick GT7 in here, that's like a no brainer. Go get it. You could go get it just for that, especially if you already own a PlayStation 5. Like if you own a PlayStation 5 at $440 plus you get all those titles, and if they had put a banger in there, like I think is that the price still if you're getting I don't even know this. Is this the price still if you're getting one of the pack-in games? So if you're getting the bundle, the Call of the Mountain bundle, are you still getting it for that $100 off? And then are you still getting that 6 free games? I'd be curious to know that. But still, it's a good deal. Like I can't say it's not a good deal. And thank you, Looper. That's a good point. I completely forgot about that. You get a free year of Netflix, man. Which is great.
Okay.
For Netflix, that's like, how much is Netflix now per month? Is it like $20 a month now?
For one screen, for the higher res, like the 4K and stuff like that, I think I'm paying 20 something bucks.
Michael Verheyen, this is a great point, man. This is where PC VR is just king. It can be king if you have a PC that can do these things. He said, yesterday a friend came over to visit. I let him try Atomic Heart, with UEVR, Half-Life Alex. Now he wants a PC. Finally, one adult friend into VR. I'm telling you, man, there are some things, especially with UEVR. There's some things you can do now that are just kick ass, man. There's just so many cool things. I am buying so many flat games now that are freaking Unreal Engine that I can play in VR. That literally, D, if you go, are we still family sharing? Because you should see my
No,
library
I
now.
think
My
we got
library is
disconnected.
my
So
library now is probably more VR games than flat games, or more flat games than VR games, because I can play some of them now in VR, and I'm actively out there looking for flat games that are exciting that I can bring to VR.
yeah.
Was Looper say yes? Bundle is $100 off too. Okay, that's a good deal. The catalog stuff doesn't relate to the headset purchase. It's for all PS Premium. Yeah, it's for everybody, but it's still a good deal. Like you can jump in with those 6 titles automatically when you just get the headset, so you don't have to worry about going and buying 6 individual titles, because that's a lot of money. Like if you get into the headset, you get the headset, it's $440 even with the $100 off. You need stuff to play. It's tough to have money to go out and buy games. Here off the bat with that subscription, you get 6 games, which I think is a really good deal. And then the Netflix is fun. Like if you don't have Netflix, I mean it's a good deal. As much as I just bitched about PlayStation VR 2 or about Sony, I think this is a good deal. Like if you're on the fence, would you go buy it for $440 right now? If you didn't, if you had a PlayStation 5, which you do,
right?
I
would. Yeah.
Yeah, even after we just had this conversation, I would still say you go buy it, right?
I still would, because you know what? I love electronics, and you know what? I love games and gaming and consoles, and you know what? I have a PlayStation. I had the original what was it? The Move controllers and
The aim
just
controller?
the aim controller, sorry. And
Yeah.
then what was the thing that Xbox had? The Kinect? I
Xbox?
think.
Yeah, that was
That
the
was
motion camera.
the motion camera thing. I had that,
Mhm.
just shit don't work out, but I'm a gamer. I love gaming, and if shit don't last, then shit don't last. But I want it all, dude. So
Betty's doubling down. What's up, Betty? Good to see you. She says I'm buying a second PlayStation VR 2 headset tomorrow. Hey, I'm with you. I'm there, man. Like if you're looking for, if you want to have another headset for other people, this is the time to do it. I mean, again, as much as I'm disappointed and I'm upset about this state of play, I'm still saying that you should go buy the headset. Like and because of what I said earlier, we will support the headset. Like I'm okay with Sony. I'm like not okay, but like I am resigned to the fact that Sony will not support this headset. But we will support it. We'll try. And I still think there will be good games there. Radio Run would go out and buy one right now. He should go out and buy another one right now. Radio Run.
yeah, no.
That's another thing too. Go Sony. How about you go out and make the controllers viable? I would love a set of backup controllers. It's kind of. I mean, why can't I buy separate controllers yet, D?
Because they don't give up.
I mean, give me. Why can't I buy controllers? The controllers die in 10 seconds, man. Do I have to go through? I can't even go through a full 4 or 5 hour play session without having to plug my freaking controllers back in.
Dude, I've played for what do you have your settings turned all the way up on your controllers? Like the vibration and stuff?
I want full vibe.
Well, then you're not going to get a full play session.
I want full vibe, D.
Yeah.
You know who loves full vibrators?
Mom, I don't have that button. I got to get one.
Why don't you have that button?
I don't
You have
know.
every other button.
I know I have all them others.
Orland Hooper's jacked, yo. He is jacked. I want to know what Orland Hooper thinks about this PlayStation thing.
You know what?
I know what. Come on, D.
Yeah, come on.
What does Jim Hall think about this situation?
I don't know. I haven't seen him. He hasn't been around.
I'm very curious. I have not talked to anybody since the state of play. I watched it by myself, and then I went to work afterwards. I haven't spoken to anybody. Nobody in Impact. Nobody in anything. So I'm very curious to what everybody else thinks about it. I did watch the chat to see what people in the chat thought about it, and there definitely was disappointed people. All right, D. let's talk about this Marvel experience. So Marvel dropped their what if Marvel experience today on the Apple Vision Pro. And
Mm.
I got in there before the show. I had to, this thing is so powerful that I had to update. It wouldn't let me. Had to update to the most recent version of their update because it wouldn't even let me download it if it wasn't. That's how
Yeah.
like intense this experience is for the headset. So I updated, I downloaded it, I got in there, and I knew it was going to be good because I had read some stuff about it. And then I got in there, and my jaw dropped again. Like these things blow me away, man. When I get in and know I already have a good thought of these things are going to be good, and I still come out of there going, "Holy shit, that was even better than I thought." That's amazing. And this is the power of AAA, Marvel going to a studio like Apple, or not studio, but a company like Apple, and getting together and saying, "Let's do something freaking killer." And these are the things that Apple has needed. So if there's any problem that I've had with Apple so far, is they should have had this stuff for out of the like right off the get go. But it's so freaking good, D. Like most everybody here has seen mixed reality on their Quest 3 headset.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome, right?
It's okay.
It's a next level experience on the Apple Vision Pro. And it's not perfect. Okay. Pass through is still not perfect. But it's so goddamn good when it's done right. Like this is AAA mixed reality. It goes back and forth between mixed reality and virtual reality. So all of a sudden you feel like you're in a VR environment, and then all of a sudden you come out and you're in your mixed reality environment. And there's full-sized people, characters of the movie and characters of not the movie because it's cartoon, but characters
Right.
of the Marvel universe,
Right.
full size, standing in my studio right here next to me. Like, and I can get up, and they're fully 3D rendered. I can get up, I can walk all the way around them and see every part of their body. I can see every piece of clothing. It's stunning. Like when you look at it, you're like, holy shit. And
Mhm.
then you get into it, and I feel like, okay, this is going to be a movie. I'm going to be watching a movie, and it's not. And I knew it was going to be somewhat interactive, but it's way more interactive than I thought. So basically, what happens here is, there's no controllers, right? So you have to figure out how to do things with hand gestures and hand movement, and you basically become like a Doctor Strange type of character. You know, all those movements that Doctor Strange does with his
Right.
hands to like open things up and close things.
Right.
So all of a sudden
Portal.
I can't remember his name now, but Doctor Strange's guy that always
Oh,
with him,
yeah,
the
I know who
Chinese
you're
guy.
talking about.
He's like teaching you, right? Like he's the character teaching you, and he's kind of showing you these different spells as you go along. But you actually have to interact. And like one of the first scenes you get into, you're fighting Thanos.
Oh,
It's
snap.
freaking cool, man, and you're using these gestures to, like, create a shield in front of you to block Thanos's attacks, and then you're, like, grabbing things with this little, like, force move that you're doing, with, 'cause you have control of some of 2 of the Infinity Stones. They're allowing you to do all these things. And D, when I'm
Mhm.
telling you it's stunning, so it's, like, cartoony, right? Like, it's the cartoon Marvel universe.
Right.
But it's stunning. It looks so good, and then like, and again, it transitions back and forth between virtual reality and mixed reality flawlessly. Um,
Mhm.
it's just so freaking good. Um,
You're not helping making me not want one of these things.
I know, I know. It's
When's that
these are
cheaper
the
version coming out?
I know it's not soon enough because and here's the thing too is like these things disappoint me because I'm very much a person of enjoy this with me. Like I'm very much that kind of person. You're like you've know those people that want like I always want people to get excited about what I'm getting excited about, and I
Right.
want people to have that same experience. When I know that like most of the people can't, it kills me. Like I want to be able to put you in this and thing and go, oh my god, it's amazing,
Right.
and or not, or even like just have somebody to go back and forth and like even disagree with you. Those can be fun too. but like to me, it's like it's a very when I can find other people that have the headset and I can like talk about it with them, like Brad or even Todd now or Jasmine. It's just it's a cool thing to be able to do that, or Jay Dunn, and because I know Jay Dunn and Joy Rain are super passionate about this headset. They're loving it too, but I just know that most people can't get it or won't get it, and that bothers me. Like I want this thing to be affordable, and here's the deal: I want this thing to be on the Quest. Like this belongs on a multi-million sold headset. Like I want this to be where the Quest is, where there's 20 million Quests or 40 million Quests, whatever there is. I want people to be able to enjoy this thing and see it. I just don't know if you'd ever be able to run this thing on there. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a full-blown AAA superhero experience where you kind of feel like a badass. I'll give you guys a quick thing. So when you download it and you open it up, you start looking at like a video screen. Like it's just going to be something flat on a video screen in front of you. And then all of a sudden you start hearing that Marvel Cinematic Universe music.
God. Oh
And
man.
but D, from behind you, the Marvel sign, the logo that says Marvel, where it's like usually like in 3D and it like sticks out,
Right.
it's like sitting like flat, and it comes behind you and you're in it. All of a sudden it passes right around you.
Dude,
And like
okay,
it for a second, like you're inside the Marvel like logo as it like passes through you and you're hearing that Marvel Cinematic Universe music. You know how you see it when that like when the comic books are flipping and you hear that Marvel music, and then all of a sudden, as it like kind of passes around you, it comes up on screen and then it shows Marvel, in big 3D in front of you. So that those are the transitions I'm talking about, D, that make you feel like holy shit, like that's the experience that you want mixed reality to be.
Dude, my little nerd heart is breaking right now because I fucking love Marvel and like
I'm gonna have to bring this headset to you so you can try it.
Yeah, when are you coming out for that that VRML thing?
I was just talking to them today. We'll see. We'll see. We're trying to work something out. Maybe we'll head out to Denver in July.
You better.
I would love to. If we can work it out, I will. Artful says I will be more impressed when it's actual film characters 3D. That's when my hype level will go off the charts. And what's cool about this, and this is something that we talked about with the developers of Runaways earlier, like this is the gateway. This is the entryway. This is where it starts. Like you have to get excited and support what's here so you can see those next things. Like I like Artful, what you're saying, I want those things. Like I think they're coming. I think we'll see those things. Like this gives you a glimpse of what we're gonna see like 2 years from now, a year from now, 6 months from now, hopefully. You're gonna see some of these cool things. And I am hopeful that Quest 4, there's no way you're getting this on the Quest 3. But these are the experiences that need to be there. Like, I just don't see this happening on this chipset. I think maybe Quest 4 or something like that. You could probably see more something like this. It's just so hard to run. But I think eventually you will see something. But this is the power of Apple. Like this showed, but this is stuff I really wish they had at launch. D. Like this is the stuff that needed to be there right away. Like to me, you're starting to see some of the Apple stuff die down. And if they had this stuff, a month, 2 months after launch, you keep that kind of that cycle going of hype. It's here now and it's back, which is great. But this is one experience. It's just and here's where you wish Apple had done these things prior to the launch. Give this stuff like where I wish this wasn't just like a dev kit. Like I wish this was a full blown headset to where they had given these headsets to developers a year to a year and a half before they launched it, because then we would have these things right off the bat. But this thing's freaking amazing, man. This is such a it's better than I thought it was, put it that way. I knew it was gonna be good, but it's better than I thought it was. Yo, what's up, Wes? Virtual Strangers is here. How you doing, man? We were just talking about you. Arlen, the Arc Reactor says, oh my, Eric just gave me an idea and now I can never be happy again until it happens. An X-Men Wolverine VR game. I'm telling you, man, I can see these things coming. Like when you see what this is and you can see where it's gonna go, like there will be a point where we will never watch movies again where they're just standard on a flat screen. There'll be even regular movies will be cinematic 3D experiences, and that'll be the norm. That's coming. It's going to be the norm. And it's not going to be, a couple of people have it in a headset. It's going to be the norm. That's it. The movie experiences that you're seeing now is not what it'll be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. It's going to completely change. Michael
can't-
Verheyen says, if all Quest owners just buy a PC VR would rise again. It's better collecting dust than playing Gorilla Tags for years. Yeah. I look, I support all VR gaming if you can do it. If you can support PlayStation, if you can support PC, do it. How about PlayStation VR 2 becoming a PC VR headset? That'll be cool.
Nice.
I'm down for that. I'm so down for that. Hey, I just
Yeah,
want to
maybe
say
I'll
thank
get more
you.
use out of the PSVR too.
Heck yeah, with that kick-ass graphics card you got.
Oh God.
I just want to say thank you, D. We have across all the platforms right now, we have 130 people watching. You guys rock. We appreciate
See,
you.
we don't need Todd back.
Who needs Todd? I think we have 130 people because Todd's not here.
Ooh.
Oh man. Echo in the Future says, I saw Mash playing Gorilla Tag in my Meta contacts today. That is very true, but it wasn't me playing. It was my daughter and her friend that she had sleeping over. And what's nice about being the daughter of a somebody who owns a VR company is she got to try a game that we're going to be launching this year, hopefully.
Ooh.
So yeah, she was super cool. Her and her friend were thinking they were cool. Got to try something new. It was fun.
Mhm.
But yeah, Gorilla Tag is just such garbage. So I put this. It's not that it's the game. It's the kids, man. So I put this girl, my daughter's friend, in the VR headset for the first time. She had never put a VR headset on before. She knew of Gorilla Tag, just from whatever, watching YouTube,
Right.
watching anything. So she knew of Gorilla Tag. It was the first thing she asked to play. I didn't even have it downloaded on my headset. I don't really let my daughter watch it. She put this thing on, and I'm not kidding. Within a minute of her going into a public lobby, she's like, "Oh my God, somebody just said the N-word." And I'm like, "Oh, come on." And then she's like, "Oh my God, this person's swearing. This kid's swearing." I'm like, I literally had to pull her out of there. It's just so toxic. You can't control it.
Wow.
I just won't allow my daughter to be in there. I won't. I want my daughter. My daughter loves Among Us, and I've had her go in and play Among Us with other people, and I tried to have her in a public lobby, and you just can't, man. The kids are so bad. I just don't. And look, everybody's different in the way they bring up their kids. If you're a parent and you are okay with having your kids swear, I'm fine with it. Whatever, it's your kids, not my kid. But I don't want your kids swearing around my kid. You know what I mean? My daughter's 10 years old. I don't want her hearing the F word, even though I say it. I don't want her
I
hearing
was,
the F
I
word
was
every
gonna
other
say,
word.
how do you hold back, dude?
You know what I mean? But I don't want her saying
Uh,
it. I don't want her saying the N word. I don't want her saying
Right.
the F word. How do I allow my daughter to go in and hear those things? You know what I mean? So again, I'm not going to judge any other parent. You guys bring your kids up the way you want to bring your kids up, but that doesn't mean that I have to put my daughter in it. And I'm not gonna. So
Right.
that's you do you, and I'll do me, and I won't let my daughter in there. But it's just unfortunate that I can't I can't allow my daughter to go play a game that's fun. And I put this other girl in a headset for the first time, and she's so digging it. She's completely digging it. She's into it. She's like, I'm asking for my mom for a headset for my birthday. Those are the things that gets you excited, right? I just
Right.
got another. We just brought another one in. And then she's in freaking Gorilla Tag and instead of enjoying Gorilla Tag and going in there and laughing and having fun, which she ended up doing a little bit after, but still, do you have that bad thing where I'm like, I can't allow this. This kid's at my house, staying overnight at my house.
Right.
I gotta let her stay in there and let her parents know that I put her into something that was toxic like that, and she heard the N word. I'm embarrassed now. She's gonna go
Yeah.
home and say, "Hey, mom, dad, I was at
They
the
just said the
you-
N word.
yeah, I was at Eric's house, and he put me in a VR headset, and somebody said the N word, and somebody said F word, and I'm like, come on, man. Literally,
Right.
I can't put him in for 5 minutes.
The
You
youth.
know, these kids are 10 years old. I mean, it's not like I'm putting a 4-year-old in there. These kids are 10 years old. They should be able to game
Right.
without garbage. Garbage, D.
Trash.
All garbage. All right. So the Marvel experience is super cool. If anybody has a Apple Vision Pro, definitely go try it. It's free, so you just hit the get button, which is great.
Nice.
It's free. Yeah, I mean, and I don't know. I think it's like an hour long. I didn't get a chance to go through the whole thing. I went through probably about 25, 30 minutes before the show. But I saw that was super cool. I like that a lot.
Town.
Garbage
Yeah.
Town. Garbage. It's all garbage. It's all garbage. Just play flat. Just forget it. Forget VR. Give it up. That's what Todd did. I saw Allison in chat a little while ago. What is up, Allison Jackson? How are you doing? As soon as we said it was Todd's fault, it was because Todd's not here that we got 130 people. She was laughing. Don't tell him that, Allison. He'll hate me. Well, tell him, you can tell him that, but tell him it was D who said it, Allison.
No, he knows the truth.
He knows the truth. We miss Todd here tonight, and we will. So guys, no show next week. I will be in Sweden hanging out with the boys, and then I think we will do a show the week after. I'll just be getting home from London on Wednesday, so I'm going to Sweden, and then I'm going to London, D. And
Give
I don't know.
GT a big hug for me.
I'm hopeful I can meet up with GT. I got a little bit of time there. Hopeful meet up with GT and some of the other cool people in the UK that we really know and love there. So definitely try and do that. What's up, Ernie Whitten? How are you doing? Todd couldn't make it tonight. He's doing his daughter's recital. So yeah, he had to be a good dad and go do that. Looper, the Underground Game Cat says, speaking of Todd, has anyone else tried Mudrunner VR yet? I wonder if there's any way to play it with a racing wheel. There is no way to play it as I currently know right now with a wheel. I hope they decide to do something like that. I think Mudrunner is a very good game. I think I have played it. There is a video out there that Todd did, so I think you should go check out the video. But I think it's good. It is fun. I think they need to get teleport out of the game and get some free loco in there, because teleport only when you're out of the vehicle, which, again, it's a driving game, but still, give me free loco. And I think they will. Like, a lot of these things, they hear the complaints and they pop free loco in. But those are the things that drive you nuts. You're like, why would you not know to put free loco in automatically? But yeah, it's a cool game. Go check it out. Mudrunner, Todd did a really good review on it too. So go check it out. But yeah, so no show next week. We will be back right the week after that, and then no show the week after that, D, because we'll be at AWE. We'll be in California for AWE, which is gonna be very cool. Yep, Todd's doing a panel at AWE with Kaz and Cherry and Genghis, and then myself, Skiva, Jasmine, and Elliot are doing a panel with our host moderator of Adam Bombati on marketing in your VR game. So very cool. Anybody who's going to be out in Long Beach or lives in that area, come check us out. There'll be lots of cool stuff. You don't even need to go to the event. There'll be a lot of cool after stuff that you can probably attend. So hit any of us up if you'd like to kind of meet up while you're out there. We'd be happy to. We always try and meet up anybody where we go if they're going to be around. And the same thing too. If you're out there and you're in Sweden, or if you're in England, I'll be in London. Hit me up. I'd be happy to go and shake hands and say hi and give you a hug. Talk about PlayStation because I love it. D, I think it's a good spot to call it. I think we'll call it for tonight. We're 2 hours in. It was a great show. I saw you were streaming the other day. What'd you stream? Some Wreckfest again?
Well, yeah, every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, go check D out.
Every Wednesday, yeah, we play Wreckfest.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, we might switch it up though, and maybe 1 week do Wreckfest and 1 week Grip, because we miss Grip. We played Grip a week or so ago, and
I didn't get an invite to Grip.
It was fun.
I'm a huge Grip fan.
Well, you didn't answer my call.
You didn't call me. I would have. You actually have to call for me to answer your call.
I try to message you, and I'm busy, or you don't. Whatever, man. Wednesdays,
I would like to,
where I'm at.
We'll see what's happening on Saturday, but I think a live stream could be in order, doing some cool stuff. I have Tass is sending me his new gun stock.
I saw
a new quick aim gun stock for the Quest 3. So I've been wanting it because I want it for Contractor Showdown and some other cool games too. So
I still got to get into that.
Yeah, so good. I was thinking maybe a little bit.
I saw today that they said they made a solo mode permanent.
Is it permanent?
Yeah.
I knew it was like temporary. I didn't know if it was permanent.
Yeah, no, I think I saw today that they and confirm if I'm wrong, chat, but I could have swore I saw
I'm down.
that it was permanent.
I might get into a few things like some breachers. I haven't been into breachers in a long time. It might be time for some breachers. Some
Yeah.
contractor showdown would be cool. And I was thinking I might even just do Crashland for a little while before
Yeah.
just to kind of warm up with Crashland. Have you ever played Crashland, D?
Crashland, the alien planet, right?
Yeah.
That was the first game that I won the first year that I was from not the first year, but from Virtual Strangers, the
Nice.
2022 one of those shows. But yeah.
Nice.
But it's fun, but it's tough, man. Oof.
It is. It's a hard game. I love it. And Tass is sending me what's he calling it? The quick shot. Yes. The single point mid split mag stock, which is now the new quick stock. And I'm going to check it out. So yeah, I think it's very possible live stream in order. Check us out on Saturday. I don't know about Virtual Strangers Saturday. I think something. What are you doing, Wes? You're out there. Are we doing Virtual Strangers Saturday? Saturday Virtual Strangers? I got to play something. What are we playing? Maybe there'll be a show. I don't know. You gotta let me know. I don't know. I'm trying to promote it, but I don't know if there I don't know if there is a show. I there should be. If there isn't, there should be. I'll promote that we should do a show. Yes, there is. There we go. So we're doing a show Saturday.
Cool.
So come and join us on Saturday for Virtual Strangers, Strangers in the Night, and then you can always catch Todd. You can always catch Roots and Wes on Mondays too on Virtual Strangers. And I think that's it.
And D on Wednesdays.
Oh, game of the month on
Which-
Monday. Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, maybe I'll oh, it's game of the month. I'll have to show up for that one. All right, we'll see. I gotta go to Sweden next week. We'll see. I'll try. I would like to be there. We'll try. Maybe we'll see. All right, everybody. I appreciate you showing up tonight. Thank you very much. It was a good discussion about PlayStation. Tell us in the comments afterwards what you thought of what we said tonight about PlayStation. So anybody has thoughts, Looper, Arlen, Hussein X, Bacardi B, Ernie, anybody, Wes, Virtual Strangers, in the comments after, not here in this chat, but in the comments after, let me know what you think. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you agree with me. Tell me whatever you think. We want to hear it. We appreciate you guys. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, do all the cool things. Whatever happens.
Hold on, wait.
whatever
Before we
happens,
go, we gotta say hi. Tiff
No,
just
no,
popped
I'm
in.
not.
Hey.
No. Don't even say
What?
her name.
No, Tiffany,
No. I
Tiffany.
know who it is. I'm not talking to her anymore. I'm not talking to her anymore. She's
I am.
on.
Hey, Tiff.
She's on my list of shit, which would be called a shit list.
How dare you?
So
How
I
dare
travel.
you?
So
Oh my
all right, hold on. Don't leave anybody. 130 people watching. Don't leave. I need to
great.
talk about
Rant
Tiff.
number 2. Here we go.
Let me talk about Tiffany. Let's talk about Gamer Chick. I travel. Myself and Wes travel across this great, huge, vast country to California to go to Skydance. Go to Skydance to do something we can't talk about. We went to Skydance. We went to where Tiffany is. Traveled hundreds of thousands of miles to see her. Many planes. We were supposed to go and have lunch with her. And she bailed. She bailed.
I still love you, Tiff. I don't care what he says.
Tiffany says, I don't think this actually happened. It did. We were there. We were like, she was there. We were there. We were probably on the same floor at one point. She's like, she big time
came
us.
around the corner, saw you, was like, ugh.
We were in the same freaking building and she big timed us. She's like, I don't have to. Who's here? Wes, what? Dylan, who? Mash, what? I don't know any of these guys. She's like, I don't know them. She heard my rants about PlayStation. She's like, I don't know who he is. I don't even know who he is.
This lunatic, dude.
No, Tiff was busy. We did. It would have been nice to see her while we were out there in California, wherever we were. Yeah, we were in LA, I think, somewhere. Anyway, yeah, it was fun. We missed her. Next time, I promise. Tiff's like, I wasn't in the building. Lies. I don't know. It's all lies, D. She was there. She was watching. She was probably watching us from another room going, she was laughing at us. Oh my God. All right, guys. Thank you very much for being here. We really do appreciate it. And what do we got? Streaming tomorrow, Virtual Strangers. What else did we say? Any other cool stuff? I think that's everything.
I don't know. I may or may not stream Saturday before you do. I don't know. We'll see.
Patreon. We got a cool Patreon thing. Go join the Discord. Click the things. Click the other things. Go hang out in Kick. There's like 2 people in Kick. Go hang out with them in Kick.
They were
next week. All right, guys. You rock. Be good. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Peace out.